Y'all are reading the title, right? Yo, it's your boy J Tom Reactions, and I'm here with another motherfucking edition of J Tom Reactions. And also, what the fuck is this lame talking about? I'm not talking about you, fantastic hip hop. I'm talking about, where is he at? That guy. Talking about that guy. What the fuck is he talking about now? He wants to box Kendrick? Now, before we get to the video, I just want to thank all of my new subscribers, all of my old subscribers, and all the ones that are about to subscribe. If you guys subscribe, all you got to do is hit that subscription button to become a part of the Yatu Savas community. All right, that's all you got to do. Also, like the video so more people like yourselves can find it. Also, comment, tell me what you guys think of the video, and hit that noti bell wherever the fuck it is. Now, when it comes to Drake, let's go.
Now, has Drake just had another stream with Aint Ross? When it comes to the biggest loser in all of rap music, with us getting the most unfiltered and honest version of Drake that we possibly could see in this time, we got to see all of Drake's worst habits just take over more than ever. And ultimately just embarrass him, as what is so clear is that even after all of this time, and even after trying to give his fans the impression that he is unfazed from Kendrick Lamar and everything that happened between them, this has just never failed more, as Drake could not stop mentioning
When he does a stream with Drake, this guy is constantly in a humiliation ritual. You see this shit? Allegedly. You see this shit, right? Like it's a constant humiliation. It's crazy. This shit is just crazy to me. Like, why? Last stream, you were talking about, I'm not even going to say it.
Kendrick and trying to chip at his success, and from running around with the same old tired narratives that he has already, to almost saying Kendrick's name directly and making another awful mistake. Overall, with this moment Drake has had with Aint Ross, he has managed to just show how with Kendrick Lamar still beating him so badly in everything, at this point he's really just completely breaking down and losing it because of him. And now before we go any further into this all-time crash out, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And so now,
subscribe to Fantastic Hip Hop. Do your thing.
With that said, when it comes to Drake, Aint Ross, and this mess of an event that they had, I mean, really, with what is the closest thing we are going to get to a Drake interview for quite some time, and also just a chance to see where he is actually at when he can't lie to everybody with songs and moments that he was able to work on and prepare to try to make him look a certain way, although, of course, almost all of that has failed as well in its own way. Again, while Drake's main strategy in this time has been to try to act like he is the same old unbothered guy and he is just winning and making music and having fun, with him just stepping out with Aint here and speaking, he just shows what's actually going on behind the scenes, which is terrible, because at every chance Drake had here, he managed to show his jealousy, anger, and disdain towards Kendrick Lamar once again, and just reveal that despite the narratives Drake and his guys, including people like Aint, keep making, which from all of the pro-Drake stuff they are trying to say to help him, to then trying to discredit Kendrick with such things as saying that Kendrick is using the beef for attention and he's dragging it out, and that Drake is just trying to move on but Kendrick won't.
If you were trying to move on from, let's say, in a different reality, right? Let's say that you were trying to move on from this beef, because to be honest with you, I don't believe it for a second. You're not trying to move on from this. And if you were, you would not be suing. Number two, you wouldn't be talking about it. Number 3, you wouldn't have any feelings of wanting to box Kendrick Lamar. I'm just saying, man, like if you're trying to get over it, stop talking about it. But we know that that's not how beefs work. And stop trying to say that you're getting over it, because you're not. You're not. You keep talking about it. That's just not how it works.
Let him. I mean, of course, all of this is a lie, and it's really just never been the opposite more in reality, because in moments where Drake is supposed to just sit with Aint Ross and try and distract his fans and these people from the fact that his career is still messed up no matter how much he's trying to hold on to it, Drake himself is the one who keeps bringing up the idea of Kendrick Lamar to his fans and the people, and while he may...
Fantastic hip hop, bro. Me and you were always like this, bro. Always like this. Hell yeah.
Trying to make them stay mad at Kendrick, and again, just surround and stand together for Drake, because that is the only thing he has left, and that is the only reason why he's even still in these spaces. He just ends up making himself look like an absolute clown, and everybody on Kendrick's team inside of things must be having a good laugh right now, because while Kendrick is preparing to play Not Like Us in bigger venues than Drake ever has been in, and again, with everything he's doing, he's going to make so much history, and Kendrick is just locked in working on actual music and his craft. On the other side of this, Drake has just ended up talking himself into another corner, where when
facts about what he said before this one right here, before he got backed into a corner. Kendrick is just making cinema. That last video that he made, hate it or love it, that was pure cinema. The angles, the lighting, the coloring, the way he would switch from color to black and white to signify, past relationships or present and past. That's just crazy. All of the different Easter eggs inside of that video. There's different Easter eggs in there. Again, hate it or love it, but he's telling you a story inside of a story inside of another story. You can't just sit there. And if you guys saw my past reaction, I was sitting there and I was trying my best to look at the second story, right? I was looking at the first story. I attempted to look at the second story, but it's something that you have to constantly go back and try to understand, because there's stories in between those stories. That was pure cinema. Pure cinema. And I said that because there's way too many things that I missed. And you can't just sit there in one go and try to get everything in one go. And that's just one thing. It's crazy to me how he does that shit. But anyways, let's continue. You're speaking facts, fantastic hip hop. Let's go.
Trying to stand up and act all tough against Kendrick Lamar. After Drake and Aint were talking about Aint's boxing event, and then Aint asked Drake about how much he would need to go into one of these events and in the ring himself. After Drake did some rambling, and then Aint finally asked who he would want to be up against in the ring. I mean, when you see this itself, you can see Drake's face, and when he's thinking about who he would want to match up against and almost slipped and said Kendrick's name directly, you can clearly see all the memories and losses he has been handed from Kendrick just come up right to his head, and make sure that no matter what he did in that moment, he did not take anything any further and put himself within a situation where he just created a lot more problems, as he would be in another 1v1 against Kendrick like we have never seen before. And with Drake's nervous laughing that he tries to brush this off with, it's honestly one of the funniest things you will ever see, because fortunately now, because of moments like these and collabs like we are getting with Drake and Aint, despite how annoying what they're actually doing is, we do have this ability that we were never able to see before in hip-hop, which is the real reactions that rappers are having just from the thought of being back within any sort of situation with another rapper who ended their career. Now, while Drake did drag this out for a little, but after saying he would not get in the ring at a real event with this person who he did not want to mention by name, but of course was Kendrick, but would do it in a gym, he flips right back into the facade he is trying to convince everybody with, and then just tries to act all cool to his fans. And now, if you thought that Drake would stop after having this moment, it only got worse from there because he kept on talking. Because of course, Drake just could not talk about himself for too long, and had to talk about Kendrick and try to take down his accomplishments of what he has done. And with what happened when Drake and Aint were playing these games and showing how much of a joke his career really is at this point, because I mean, just in terms of this actual collab and situation that Drake has put himself in, which is becoming a reoccurring thing, I mean, just to think about where this guy was once at and how he is now doing collab streams with Aint and Ross, this is just such a downgrade from where Drake used to want to be in hip-hop and from how he used to be perceived. And I mean,
Straight facts. He's trying to show everybody that he's outside. He's trying to show everybody that he's okay. He's trying to get everybody's mind off of the lawsuit because that's all everybody's been talking about. And it's kind of like, a magician. You know how they show you this hand, but they're doing a trick on this hand. The sleight of hand, basically. That's what Drake is trying to do. But there are other people that are not allowing that, and it's not going to happen. Because we're not slow, and we're not bots.
At this point, if this is what the peak of what you're doing is, you just can't even be anywhere near the conversation for best rapper. But now beyond that, and actually what Drake did to diss Kendrick, when Aint decided to start playing some music and play Nokia in front of Drake, and then Aint and Drake started to joke about how Aint was going to be giving him one stream for doing this, which in this conversation, Aint specifically said, "I can run a stream for you." Drake responded saying about running up his streaming numbers that the rest of these guys are doing it, so that it's not a problem that Aint will. And now while of course Drake was trying to get a little joke off here about how Kendrick Lamar is faking his streams and getting fake plays because that seems to be the only rebuttal he has left when it comes to explaining how Kendrick is so much bigger than him, I mean, once again, Drake is reminding everybody and showing to audiences how bitter and messed up Kendrick Lamar has left him, because really, even when Aint is trying to joke and be a fan of Drake in a way and just trying to play his Nokia record, Drake can't help himself from using this moment to try and spread these ideas and narratives about how Kendrick Lamar has become so big, all because of the industry and not because of people, and how all of it that we're seeing right now in terms of how dominant he has been is just not real whatsoever. But what's really so confusing on Drake's end and shows how this guy really is.
He also tries to play that narrative that without him, there wouldn't be a Kendrick, which is false. You may have given Kendrick the platform to, be in a concert with you, but Kendrick did the work afterwards. There are so many artists that go and, there's so many artists that go and basically become big without your help. It's the work that they put in. It's not because you gave them the platform 15 years ago. Know what I mean? Like let's say that you didn't give him the platform. He still would have found a way to get on that stage. It's nothing that you did. He did the work. It's the same thing that he says, we have the same 24 hours in a day. Kendrick stays working on his craft. What do you do? That's basically what he's insinuating. Let's go.
Is such a wannabe manipulator at this point. And I'm using the word wannabe because Drake is only convincing his fans of anything and nobody else. Is how despite Drake and his team dropping the claims about Not Like Us having fake streams in all the paperwork that they are pushing against his label about the song, Drake is still running around with these same old claims about Kendrick's numbers and trying to discredit him with it. And I mean, with all of this, and even with Drake still sneak dissing in general, both in music and in moments like these, when you see the image that Drake is putting out here compared to the loser he is trying to make himself out to be with his paperwork about Not Like Us? It just shows that Drake is trying to put one show on for the people where he is the same old unbothered guy that has never been better. But then to these bigger players, he is trying to make it sound like he has never been worse off because of Kendrick Lamar in this record. And I mean, with this and with Drake showing how much he's really lying to everyone.
To be honest with you, if you really sit back and think, Drake's career was dwindling off. He was starting to decline already. And I'm not just saying that. The dude, okay. What album was the last good album? For all the OVO people, tell me, because I honestly haven't heard a Drake album in a long time. So tell me, what was the best Drake album, the last good Drake album, in the comment section? Tell me. Because I just want to know. A lot of people are saying For All the Dogs. I can't tell you. A lot of people say that, Certified Lover Boy was the last one. But if you really think about it, when was the last good Drake album? And you look at all the body of work that Kendrick Lamar has done, may have taken a while to drop, right? But if you want perfection, you take your time, right? You don't just make an album to make an album, unless you're trying to get out of a contract. When was the last good Drake album? Drop it in the comment section, please.
In all ways, and is obsessed with Kendrick Lamar more than ever. I mean, the guy just ends up showing that he's not just the biggest loser in hip-hop, but he is also the biggest clown too, because to just act like this and also contradict all of your decisions with these ridiculous claims and jokes that you were trying to get off to belittle Kendrick Lamar and make yourself sound like the real artist who is in the right and who's standing up to all the industry. You just can't even take a guy who is supposed to be in a genre where everything is about your word and what image you're putting out, but in actuality can't even stick to one story seriously. But with Drake and Aint in this entire moment together, what Drake is really showing is that for everyone, we better get used to him doing more ridiculous things like this, because he really seems to be enjoying acting like a streamer and hanging out with these guys who are more immature than him than actually being a rapper, and trying to create genuine music that is telling a good story or just has something decent to give to its listeners whatsoever. And again, when we talk about how Drake is no longer hip-hop, but yet he's still doing some portion of the numbers he is used to, this is exactly why. Because really, aside from these people like Aint and all of the other people he is friends with who constantly talk to Drake and support him, and again, when we talk about Drake not being hip-hop, but yet he's still doing a fraction of the numbers he used to, this is why. It's all because Drake is really the first guy who's cosplaying at this point as a rapper, but is actually more like a streamer.
Fantastic Hip Hop said he's cosplaying.
Because really, with the way Drake acts and with who he links up with and who he wants to be, and really with who he is making his music for. I mean, the guy is more like Aint, Kai, or even somebody like Jake Paul than he is Kendrick, J. Cole, or Travis Scott. And to be honest with Drake and Aint, as Aint was also officially made an OVO member in one of the bits they did, and Aint just never seemed happier. Drake shows that he resonates and likes him more than a lot of his own artists and people, including the guy he just did a whole album with in Party Next Door, because really, well, P&D has been nowhere to be found in terms of him standing next.
Where is P&D? Where's P&D? Where was he on Nokia? That was on his album with Drake. So why is Drake getting all the credit? Where's P&D?
Next to Drake, and Drake ended up pretty much erasing him from their own work at this point, as he was nowhere in the Nokia music video as well. At the same time, Drake is making his moves with these other people just be so known, and I mean, while this is all the community he has left, because again, nobody who is actually a fan of rap music and hip-hop can look at him the same way for everything he has done, which is disrespecting everything the art form has ever represented. It's still just laughable to see Drake just step away and abandon the culture that he used to get where he fully is go. And again, just turn into somebody who is no longer in the same lane with Rick Ross, but Aiden Ross. And now, while Drake is so far removed from what a real MC or a great hip hop artist is, but he is still announcing that he is not giving up on music yet, as he said he is working on a new solo album where he says that it is going to be very good in his opinion. Somehow, despite Drake shifting into being a streamer, we are only going to see a lot more of him in music, and at that very soon with whatever new record he puts out. And seemingly this is because no matter how much further he is trying to move away from hip hop and what the genre represents now, he still wants to try and get that spot he used to have back and try and shift back rap to the way he liked it. But while Drake is creating all of this noise and trying to force the hype for his music,
He's trying to get it back to the way that it was before because he knows that he cannot make that type of music. And if he tries to do it and it's all of a sudden you're a lyrical rapper, we know it's going to be a fraud because we know that you cannot write your own stuff. And that's why you want to take it back to the way that it used to be, because you are a certain type of rapper. And that's the type of rap that you want to associate yourself with. But if you really think about it, if you go and make it to the way that it used to be yourself, just yourself, your fan base is still going to like it. There could be a balance in hip hop. There's your style of hip hop, Drake, and then there's Kendrick's style of hip hop. There's always been that type of there just hasn't been a balance. There's always been Kendrick's lyrical type of hip hop, but there's also been Drake's type of hip hop. It's never been balanced. And now what you're seeing is a power shift. And what I think should happen is that there should be a balance.
Music. I mean, from everything he has already done to everything he is doing. Again, the guy just can't be taken seriously whatsoever. And as long as Drake is going to get scared when he thinks of Kendrick Lamar, and we can all just see that like we have here, I mean, he's only going to continue to fall off and just make a joke of himself. And so once again, with these Drake and Aiden Ross link-ups that nobody ever asked for, while Drake thinks he just got a win and one step closer to making a full comeback in hip-hop, all he managed to do was show how Kendrick really has messed him up forever and has just turned him into the biggest joke you possibly could be. And so now with all that said, let me know. What do you think about this latest collab with Drake and Aiden Ross? What do you think this says about where Drake is going to go next? And what do you think about how scared Drake is of Kendrick Lamar as a whole? Well, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about all of this. And now if you made it to this point in the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And now if you want to see how in this time, things are about to get a lot worse for Drake because Kendrick Lamar has more music around the corner. And at that, it's going to be some of his most ambitious stuff yet. Check out the suggested video.
Tell me what you guys thought of the video. Fantastic hip hop, you did it again, bro. Always on top of this Drake shit. Always on top of this Drake shit. Let me know what you guys thought of the video in the comment section. Also, tell me Drake's last good album. I am legit wanting to know. What was Drake's last good album? Go ahead and drop it in the comment section. If you liked the video and you want to be a part of the Ya Tu Sabes community, all you got to do is subscribe. That's it. Also like the video so more people like yourselves can find the video. And again, comment. And then hit that noti bell wherever the fuck it is. I still don't know where it's at. Can y'all tell me where it's at? Drop it in the comment section. To be honest with you, I don't care. I don't. And you know what? I'm not even going to find it. I think I like better, not knowing where it's at. Wherever it's at, just hit that shit. All right? It's been your boy J Tom Reactions. I'm out of here. Ya Tu Sabes. You already know. You already know. Subscribe to Fantastic Hip Hop. Be a part of the Ya Tu Sabes community. You already know. Ya Tu Sabes. Let's go.